What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video of Robbie to Bobby. Also, first off the bat, I wanted to thank all of you guys for the latest subscribers. You guys are absolutely amazing. You're killing it. We're almost to 100 subscribers, and that really encourages me to keep making videos for you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying it. So I am going to be going over the difference between trade school and just kind of getting straight into the automotive and diesel field straight out of high school. Sort of my background, I've been a diesel technician for 7 years and I've been an automotive technician for 3 years. I do have 3 diesel technician ASC certifications, and I am fully expert and professional certified through Freightliners. So today we're going to be jumping into the video going over the differences. Alright, you guys, so the big differences between going to trade school and not going to trade school. I'm going to kind of just go through like the benefits of going to trade school and some kind of pros and cons of that, as well as not going to trade school to be an automotive diesel technician. Number one, trade schools, they give you a basic concept of how everything works. So if you're just trying to get into the field to change oil, replace parts, things like that, if another technician diagnoses something and all you want to do is pull that into the shop, take the alternator off, put a new alternator on the vehicle, and then ship it down the road, there's not really a reason to go to tech school. I mean, you're not really advancing your career as far as you could. Now, some people might not want to. Maybe some people just want to take it easy, change oil, do all that, do your brakes, tires, things like that, which is completely fine. But if you want to take this to a whole nother level and be an expert certified technician with all your ASCs and everything like that, trade school is going to give you that kind of leap and like that speed to get to bottom of the chain to the top quicker. So what trade schools or tech schools are going to do is they're going to go over all the basic concepts of how everything works. So you're going to go into not only all of the components, so understanding what an AC compressor does, how the AC compressor works with the pistons inside and the wash plate, I think they call it, that kind of rotates around, how an alternator works, how a starter works with the pull-in and hold-in windings. So things like that, if you can not only break down and say, okay, that starter's bad, it's not cranking, well, there might be other things going on with it, and it could really catch you off guard if you're just like, oh, it isn't cranking, needs a starter. Little did you know the batteries were bad on the truck, and that's why it didn't have enough power to turn the starter over. Now to your boss you look pretty dumb, but it does happen. Tech schools, they're going to give you that like viable option to learn the concepts, how everything works, why it works the way it does. And not only do you know, okay, the starter's bad, but now you know, okay, the hold-in winding is bad. So it'll pull the gear into the flywheel and crank the engine, but it won't hold it there as you're holding the key. So you know, okay, the starter's bad, the hold-in winding is bad, and you can diagnose it a little bit easier that way. And that kind of goes for show with everything. Like, learning the basics is going to help you with diagnostics. Anyone can go in and change parts. Anyone can go in and learn on the job how to change oil, change brakes, change tires, things like that. But understanding how everything works and why everything does what it does is going to really give you that like competitive edge in the market as far as just how everything is going and diagnostics, things like that, to make you a faster, better, and more productive technician. So possible job opportunities. Trade schools are going to give you that possible job opportunity because some schools have programs where if you go through the program and you're in the top 5% of the program or top 10% of the program, they have a list of employers that are working with the school to try to help you get into your field after knowing what you know through school. So the company that they're working with that you might go to knows what the college teaches, and they kind of work and build a curriculum based upon what the employer is looking for. And so by going through these programs, it really helps kind of break everything down so that by the time you get out of trade school or to your tech school, get a job with some of these companies. I know for sure, like the college I went to, Caterpillar was one of them. So you could go straight from college and get a job over with Caterpillar if you're qualified. better financial and job opportunities early on in the career. So what I mean by that is if you don't know anything about anything, you can definitely get a job at your Jiffy Lube, your tire change place, your Walmart, things like that, where you can just get in and kind of get some on-the-job experience and learn how to change oil, how to change brakes, how kind of all the systems work. But it is going to take longer to do that, and going through school and just having that base knowledge that they kind of use and say, okay, now you know how this works, how this works, how this works, and you can jump straight into the field and be somewhat efficient. I mean, obviously you don't have all the hands-on experience that you would after years of working as a technician, but it is going to help out with just getting your foot in the door and saying, hey, this is what I know, this is what I learned in school. Let me learn more on the job as I'm working for you guys. So a lot of companies will do that. They don't have to pay you as much, things like that. So they'll kind of get your foot in the door and you can kind of show what you're doing and kind of work your way up from there. I know a few cases where you get into a shop and you didn't go to a trade school, you get into a shop and you're getting the hang of it, you're changing oil, you're changing brakes, things like that, and then let's say you're getting to the point where you want to change out an engine and your company wants to have you do that. They want you to learn how to do some heavy work, and you do it, everything kind of goes good, was what you thought, and then you can't get it started, or there's a misfire or a check engine light or something doesn't work. Now you go and grab the master tech or the best tech in the shop, and because they're so busy and they're on a flat rate system, most likely they're just going to take over that job and do it, and you're not really going to get that learning experience of, okay, what did he just do? Why did he do that? How does he know that was causing the issue? So that's stuff that you can really pick up on and learn, and the trade school is going to give you that opportunity to mess up and learn, okay, why did this crankshaft position sensor not let the engine start? So why did the camshaft position sensor cause different issues? So you can kind of learn more and mess up and learn from your mistakes a little bit easier because you have more time. You're not pushing out for a customer who's waiting in your lobby or anything like that, like customers on a tight time frame, the engine has to be done by tomorrow, things like that, where someone else just has to come in, take over, and you're not really learning as much. Trade schools are expensive, so I know if you are paying for it out of your own pocket, it can definitely get expensive. Even if you're taking out student loans or anything like that, it is a more expensive option, but I think the pros outweigh the cons as far as your knowledge and your, I don't want to say job security, but your knowledge after school and helping that like get a job and kind of get your foot in the door so that you can work your way up the ladder as quick as possible. I think with a trade school you can kind of do that. Anyone can get a job at your Jiffy Lube, things like that, your Walmarts, any sort of tire changing place, stuff like that. But if you have a degree and you show, hey, this is what I'm capable of, you might start out a little bit more money an hour. And I was thinking about making a video going over the hourly versus flat rate jobs and being different hourly versus flat rate technician. So if you guys do want to see that, let me know down in the comments below. I really appreciate it. And also, I know I'm all over the place, you guys. I'm trying to make this quick without ranting on and going crazy. Electrical knowledge is key. So everything in 2020 is electronically controlled, communicates with all the other modules in the car. I mean, you have a whole separate module just for your driver's side door window. And it's just, everything's communicating, everything's talking, and everything's electronic nowadays. Like your days where you roll down the little window on the side, it's over. So knowing the electronics is going to be the biggest thing that helps you advance in your career quickly, because anyone can learn how to change brakes, anyone can learn how to do shocks, tires, whatever, but learning how the electronics work, learning how the communication works between different modules, learning how to diagnose that with the terminating resistors and all of that stuff can really give you that competitive edge in the market, and it's something that's not going away. That is another thing that kind of look into, is learn technology and electrical as fast as possible. Now if you're going through trade school, you're going to have some classes going over like Ohm's law Watt's law, stuff like that you're like, this is just super boring. How am I ever going to use this in the field? But you really do. It's all the same principle and concepts for everything, so it's just something that you gotta learn, and it's gonna be boring, but it will pay off in the end, I promise. Also, people think going to a trade school and then getting a job, you're gonna make crazy amount of money right off the bat. I'm gonna make 100 grand a year, billing 70 hours a week or 50 hours a week, something like that, as a flat rate technician, and that's just simply not the case. This is a very experience based trade. And with that, like, you want to get your experience as quick as possible, but also understanding what you're trying to learn. Let's get into no schools. So like not going to a tech school, not going to a trade school, not going to college, all of that stuff. The first thing is it's not needed for changing oil, changing parts. If you just want to kind of do as a basic technician. Liability, that is one of the big ones that I know of. Not having any on-the-job experience or understanding how the systems work. Companies take that into account when they're hiring people. So let's say someone has a college degree and they have this set of understanding of knowledge on components, parts, how everything works, stuff like that, all the systems that you could need, versus someone who does not know the difference between a positive battery post and a negative battery post. And just for an example, let's say they do hire a new guy straight off the street and he's trying to do this for a living, and his car comes in, needs an oil change, but you go to start it and the battery's dead out in the parking lot. So he goes back in the shop, grabs a battery jumper, goes back out, jump starts the car, but the cables are actually backwards, and fries a bunch of modules. Now the shop is liable to pay for all those modules, and it can get expensive very quickly. They say good technicians are expensive. I personally think bad technicians are even more expensive. So you're gonna pay the good technicians a lot of money per hour, but they're also not gonna make silly mistakes like that could cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Another thing is if you're wanting to get into the dealership world, I know a lot of dealerships out there will have their own school. So if that's something you're looking into, you want to save some money, if you can, grind it out, get into a job, start changing oils, start kind of getting the basic concepts of your brakes, your suspension, just all of that different stuff, your shocks, everything like that. And once you start getting efficient and start showing that you're ready to step up to the next level, dealerships will actually send you out to their specialized dealership trainers that will teach you everything about, let's say you work at Ford, they will send you out to a Ford training center, and they will actually teach you how not only do the systems work, but how the Ford systems work specifically. So you're not only just learning the concepts, but you're also learning specifically what you're going to be working on in the field. And that can be really cool because the company's paying for it. They might have some sort of contract set up so that you will take that and like sign like a 2-year contract, and if you leave before then, you'll have to pay that money back for the training, things like that. They do got to make sure they get their money back out of you for the training. Nothing in life is free, so just know that when you get into it is some dealerships will send you out for their training, and then afterwards you'll get some pay raises for having more experience, more training, and at the end of the day be more efficient and understanding what you're doing, and that over time the repetitiveness will make you faster, and that's how you make the money in this field. Not going to school and like taking the whole dealership route is a very viable option. It's definitely able to be done, but it is a little bit slower. So it's gonna take you a longer time for you to convince a dealership, hey, I'm ready, I've been doing this, I've been killing it, I wanna step up and go to training, come back and be a better technician. So that does take a little bit longer than if you take it upon yourself to go to a trade school or a tech school or anything like that. And like I said earlier, the possible video I'm wanting to do is an hourly versus flat rate job / technician. So kind of going over the pros and cons of hourly, pros and cons of flat rate, and kind of my opinion on it. And of course this whole video was just kind of my opinion, and just take it with a grain of salt. It's not something that is for sure like you're not going to go to college, but you're going to be the best technician. That can definitely happen. but I'm just telling you from my experience and what I've seen in the field so far, this is kind of my opinion on everything. So hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please like and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Hit that little bell in the corner so you know when my video goes live for you guys. And that's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.